next question. What is the difference between Adderall and Vyvanse? So again, I want y'all, if you see a psychiatrist, if you're on any of these medicines, I highly, highly recommend you talk to your psychiatrist about stuff. I'm giving you kind of general information. We call it edutainment. So it's educational entertainment. So hopefully this is like actually interesting. I'm not a very funny guy, but I, pretend to be on a podcast. So this is the opportunity for me to like just share some of the insider stuff so that you're a better informed patient, so that then maybe you can talk to your psychiatrist about it. So Adderall, the technical term, the chemical name of Adderall is amphetamine. And so there are different isomers, which is a fancy chemical description of how molecules look at the small level. And they come in most things have two different isomers, so two different ways that it looks, and they're actually mirror images of each other. And so the regular old Adderall is mixed amphetamine salts. So it's the L isomer and the D isomer, those two mirror images mixed together. We know that in human beings, I think it's the L isomer works a little bit better. But to isolate all that costs more money. And so they said, you know what, if it's still effective and we can mix it up and help people feel better, then that's what we're going to do. And so that's what regular Adderall is. Works pretty well for most folks. Some folks have issues with it. It decreases their appetite too much, or gives them a headache, or makes their heart race. And so for people that can't tolerate Adderall, or if they need an extended release version of the Adderall molecule, sometimes we will use a medication called Vyvanse. So Vyvanse is lisdexamphetamine. So they took regular old amphetamine and they jick-jacked with it and added some chemical groups on it to make it last a lot longer. But essentially they're kind of like cousins to each other, not brother and sister, but more like cousins to each other. And so just like you don't always like your cousin, sometimes Vyvanse don't work for them either. But the good part is it's a very, very safe alternative. The hiccup with Vyvanse, so this is January 6th, 2022. The patent on Vyvanse should have expired, I think, last year or 2 years ago, but they got a patent extension because they did some FDA, DEA gymnastics to get their patent extended. And so it doesn't go off patent until 2023 now, I believe. And so it's still incredibly expensive. So it is helpful. It works for a lot of folks. The expense can be a pain in the butt. But that's kind of the basic difference between Adderall and Vyvanse. And when I say a price difference, Adderall is like, 30 tablets of that could run you $20. 30 tablets of Vyvanse could cost you $400. That's how ridiculously different it is. So one of the things about mindful doctors is that we're always trying to, number one, do the safest option. Number two, use the lowest dose for the shortest amount of time. And then number three is we want to be very thoughtful about the money that you're spending, because we know that you're spending money with us and we are not the most inexpensive option on the block. But we work really, really hard to make sure that every bit of your money goes as far as possible to help you feel better. So we're always very cognizant of when we use Vyvanse. And for those folks who have insurance, most insurance companies will cover it, but not all. So if that happens, we can walk you through that particular thing. So, alrighty. So that is that question.